guys, welcome to Steve's Tractor Adventures. I'm Steve, and today you guys are going to watch me and some other YouTubers and some friends as we go on a field trip out to Kennett Square, PA, to a place called Bob's Crane Service, where the annual Gravely Tractor Club of America blow-in is held. So anyhow, pull up a chair, grab your favorite beverage. Gonna be a couple fun episodes out of this, so Future Steve out.
Trying to help me out with the facts. In 1937, 38, 39, Gravely teamed up with a company called Cooper Stewart. Cooper Stewart was in charge. They were an English company that had an office in Chicago. Their big deal was to take American technology overseas. So they would buy the latest and greatest American technology, ship it overseas, sell it. So they're a little like Gravely with this, where this is overseas technology that came back here. This is what, Swedish?
Sure.
Swedish? Let's go with Swedish. This was built obviously in Dunbar, sold to Cooper Stewart. They put their badge on it. So if you look at this badge right here, this is a Gravely badge with Cooper Stewart. I think they took the Gravely number and redid it on this badge. So study this badge, you'll see it's a whole different company. All right, so as the Model Ds, the production was sent over to England and they brought them back to sell them. This was made in the U.S. and sent overseas back when the U.S. could make shit by itself.
So did that end up back here from
This was made in
England?
Dunbar.
But it went to England and came back?
Went to England.
Oh,
Right? Straight to England. Got rebadged as a Cooper
Stewart under the Gravely label.
Under the Gravely label.
yeah. And somebody brought it back to the U.S.
Slow down. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, this is a much longer story.
All Gravely stories.
All right, I'll
Get a chair.
This unit wandered the world looking for a place. Dirk has wandered the world looking for a place. All right, so the fine gentleman in England, I don't know.
Alan Bean and his son Jeffrey.
Yep, anybody familiar with that name? He's an English comedian.
No, not that Bean.
Not that name. He had this tractor, and nobody knew how to get a rowboat to England to get it back. Dirk is crazy. In case you haven't met him, he's nuts. You were stationed in England? Where were you stationed?
I was actually in Germany at the time. Stationed in Germany. Alan came up, or his son came up and said, "Hey, my dad, look at this. He put this modern Gravely together. I'm using it." Well, in the background, I could see in that corral in the back of the shed the bent handlebars. So I got a hold of the son and put me in touch with the dad, and I went and visited the dad, Alan. He put me up, and so with that having happened, we looked at this, and I wanted to document it, make sure it was reported, everything, that there was a history with it that we could all refer back to. So shortly thereafter, a few months later, I redeployed back to the States, and Alan sends me an email and says, "Well, hey, if you can figure out how to get this back to the States, it's yours if you come and get it." And what I heard was double dog dairy. Yep.
So, he called me up and said, "Rich, I'd love to have this tractor, but I can't get it home. It's free, but I can't get it home, so I passed." I was like, "Dirk, I double dog dare you." So this became the household goods of a buddy of yours.
Yep.
He said, "It'll be in the States, but it might take a while because he's got to relocate."
Yep.
So it got shipped. No, it got prepared, right? You went to a preparation place so it drained for fluids.
Well, I when I figured out that I had a tentative plan, I went back overseas and picked up me and a buddy. He happened to have a truck in Germany, so we made a drive down to France, crossed in the Channel, up the coast, almost to Scotland, to Darlington. So we loaded that up in his truck and made that in reverse. And then I took it to another friend who had an auto shop, and we pressure steamed it to get all oil and grease off, because you can't have nothing, fluids, etc., for shipping like that.
So it came back 2 years after you acquired it?
Yeah.
I've never seen it, so it showed up yesterday. I said, Dirk, we're going to fire it up. He's like, yeah, it's fired.
So does it have cosmoline or any other kind of preservative
Well,
that you
it
put
did
into
have,
it?
so Alan had packaged it all up and sealed it with a gasket sealer, but before that, he had packed some of it with grease, and then he had poured not a cosmoline, but some kind of a mineral spirits inside to keep it all
Right,
lubricated.
yeah,
But-
water, you want to keep the water out during the shipment.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely, moisture, etc. So he had done a great job preparing it. When I took it to my buddies in Germany at the auto shop, I just simply steam washed it, put it on the rack, steam cleaned it, and got it ready literally for shipment, and then took it back to Ramstein, and when he come home, he bought it from his household goods at A&T.
Right.
So,
So is it metric or is it standard?
That's the next conversation.
so
Easy now. Oh, the story is not done.
Oh, the story's far from done. So,
I might need some more
if
camera
any of
batteries.
You guys were here when we were working on an English Imperial. We went down this rabbit hole. You have U.S. metric, British standard, British fine, British Whitworth, yada, yada, yada. This thing has changes. So one of our things today is learn what bolts are which. So like this bolt right here is British Whitworth coarse, which is unlike any other bolt you've ever seen in your life. Unless you think it's 3/8 bolt, it ain't. It's actually what around 5/16 bolt and 3/8 conversion with different angles, a whole different than bolt. So what I think happened is they sent this over and they said, well, we got to change this bolt, and this bolt, but nobody has wrenches for a U.S. bolt. I'm sure you're going to do what they did not. So if you're interested in going down that rabbit hole, and I assure you it's a rabbit hole, take a peek at some of those bolts.
and just so everyone knows, there is a set of 3 open wrenches there with the different sizes. Be mindful when you put it on a bolt that you're not tearing up the bolt because it's a very hard to find.
Very hard to find bolt.
We'll do some caliper work on all of them.
You can.
So what's the name of the town where this thing originally was?
Okay, so we were looking through some literature that Rich has available. He had done separate research on the import-export during the between the war era, the big wars. So he found Cooper Stewart literature for the Gravely, the Model L's and the Model D's that was in between the wars. And separately, he had that information, the history of the import-export and what they had available. And unbeknownst to me, I just happened to pick up one of the tractors that's illustrated in his literature. And so, where Alan lives is Bernard Castle. Lord Bernard owns all of that around him. And then the manufacturing, the industrial hub was Darlington, which is where Alan took me. It was the first railroad in England, etc. So that import-export company, somehow there was a dealership in Darlington that would have serviced the surrounding countryside. And that was their industrial hub in that part of England.
Was that Buckley?
This was up in the north. So up in the north, Darlington was the industrial hub. A lot of Scots lived there. They migrated to go work just like we would have to go up to Ohio and work in the auto or industrial trades.
So one more time, what was the name of the town where this Allen guy lived? Burger?
He lives outside in a village outside of Bernard Castle. That's on the Tees River, but the nearby an hour's drive is Darlington, where he grew up when his dad worked in industry. In Darlington is the literature where that Rich has for the import-export company.
Any questions? Any questions? So,
Yeah, what did you feel like when you first saw that?
Pretty exciting to actually see. And the reason for me is because you have to think from my perspective, being a kid, a snot-nosed punk, Appalachian, barefoot running around in the woods, This is a testament. This Gravely that was made in Dunbar, West Virginia, an international company with those kinds of history, that's a testament to Appalachian ingenuity right there. And so that's my connection to the Gravely that was produced in Dunbar. So I know I may sound funny, but by golly, that's from West Virginia when you think about the way I talk. Keep that in mind, everybody.
It's like a Whitworth Ranch.
Exactly.
Is that a 1939 model year?
38.
38.
So how much of it is assembled in the U.S. and then shipped over there?
The whole entire thing.
The whole, yep.
Yeah, so they put this, yeah, I think they put this label on, I haven't studied this yet. But those books got changed. A lot of bolts got changed, I think.
That's what I'm asking, like, were they changed because someone was working on it, or was it?
Well, they wouldn't have had tools to work on
They couldn't
US
sell it
bolts.
probably.
I remember US bolts were just US bolts, and I'm sure they're like, what is this stupid shit?
So all those, if I understood it correctly, if I'm wrong, Rich, the Whitworth or the British tools that you have to use, it's not that the thread is different.
It is.
Is it the thread also that's different?
Thread is a different cutting angle,
Okay.
Yep.
right, Ralph? We went.
It was by a degree or two, if I remember correctly.
So if you get stuck,
So good question. I don't know that we have an answer.
MGs will get you if you're not careful that way.
And that's what I think, because some of it works, but some of it don't.
So it didn't take up as much room to ship it.
Exactly.
And then put their bolts.
Reassembled it, yeah.
Somebody was working on it. Wonder about like the casting and all those things.
So those are 3/4. When I got it, and I hadn't changed anything until yesterday, we cleaned it up a little bit, but like the advanced casting, that was 3/4, and that's no issue. But then, what's that?
half-inch bolts.
Yeah, or
Half inch with 3/4 heads, yeah.
So this was kind of the first one to this without the gaps. This is when they finally figured out how to do it now. So this is probably one of the first ones. Above, yeah.
We're not waiting until 9 o'clock.
Hopefully you guys can read it. Okay. Time to get to work.
So we think it's a Whitworth spark plug, but it's side gapped. So we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna get the gapping in there and do whatever cleaning we need to. But it's pretty cool.
That's different
Yeah.
from the team with the 38 from overseas.
Here we go.
When we get our, the three of us get our
It'll start.
Yeah,
Something well.
it is.
They won. Unbelievable. Come on, baby.
Ooh, pretty close. Boy, is that thing loud. It's firing out the exhaust side pretty hard, I think. I don't know.
I wonder if it's jumping sparks.
Could be. You get all the 10 millimeters that get lost? Is that where they go? Is your toolbox?
I think they're in a black hole. They've reached critical mass somewhere. They're in a black hole.
They're kind of like me. I never use a 10.
That's it right there. And what is that? He had the one on the handlebar loose.
it's not deep enough. Oh, you get
It
the
is,
other
there's
one on?
one. There's one on there. I don't know, it's easier by hand, I think, at this point, just to spin it off than that little bit.
Watch it, watch, you're going to jam them.
So when you go, what you guys up to? Oh, is the clutch rod stuck in the high-low lever?
No, we got to bend, re-bend that bar. That bar's been straight.
The
Clearance for the exhaust.
Oh, okay. Just curious, you know, I've been over in the other team.
It's that muffler, which is weird.
I've been dealing with rusty stuff nobody's ever seen before in their life, so.
All right, let's see if that will pop loose.
I can't get the far enough.
So give me, I think this is a half right here. Let me get a.
Sounds good. Very nice, gentlemen. Woo-hoo!
Second place.
It even smells better this time.
Because they're not moving yet.
All right.
I still am reigning champion.
Great stuff. This is unextended.
So you want to recover your tools?
I've got to, yeah, I got to clean up because this is driving me cuckoo looking at all of this. This is wearing me out.
Oh, you want me to add a couple tools? That's what I heard.
Yeah, exactly.
Came in with a hammer.
Away with a chest type drawer and put in the bag and truck.